Welcome to Prayer and Bible Band, Lesson 5. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is God gives wealth. The background reading is coming out of Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 20, Psalms chapter 1, verse 3, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4, Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 19, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, and 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. The devotional reading is coming out of 3 John chapter 1, verse 2, and Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 20. The central verse, I will read the King James Version first, and then the New Living Translation of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant. The New Living Translation of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. Remember the Lord your God. He is the one who gives you power to be successful, in order to fulfill the covenant he confirmed to your ancestors with an oath. The key terms for today's lesson: wealth, dishonest, integrity. Wealth, abundance of valuable material possessions or resources, abundant supply. Dishonest, characterized by a lack of truth, honesty, or trustworthiness, not honest or trustworthy. Integrity, firm adherence to a code, especially one of moral or artistic values, total honesty and sincerity. A person can only legally give away what he personally owns. The word of the Lord tells the believer that the earth belongs to the Lord, which includes the hills, valleys, the silver and the gold, all the minerals and jewels of the world. All the animals, birds, rivers, and waterways belong to him. He has the privilege to give whatever he desires to whomever he wants to. God is a God who loves to give, especially to those who love, trust, and obey him. God claims all the people in the world as his children, so he rains blessings on all of them. But he has special blessings to his children who love him enough to keep his commandments. God had a special man who loved and worshiped him amidst a pagan society. This man loved God so much that he was willing to give up everything familiar to him, including people and things he loved, to obey God. Because of this great love, God made some promises to him that we call covenant. God made a covenant with Abraham, which is yet active to the many generations that came after him. And that's found in Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. God even made the covenant available to the spiritual children of Abraham. And that's found in Galatians chapter 3, verse 29. Because of ignorance and much false teaching, many believers fail to receive the wealth that God has available to his children. Like any good parent, God wants and offers the absolute best to his children. However, a gift is only a gift if a person accepts and receives it. God lets the believer know that his greatest physical desire for them is that they be healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. But so many of his children live their lives getting along with meager fare, barely making it from day to day, from week to week, robbing Peter to pay Paul. It is not the will of God for his children to struggle through life, trying to make ends meet. He wants them to have more than enough. They cannot be lenders and not borrowers if they do not have enough for themselves. He doesn't want his children in a position of lack, where they will feel the need to steal. It is more blessing to give than to receive. But if you don't have enough, how can you be that blessing? God has a plan for every believer's life that is designed to give peace and not evil, but to give his children futures and hope. And that's Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, God told his children about the many blessings he had for them, and he let them know that if they obeyed him, the blessings would automatically come upon them and overtake them. The Lord told them that he would promote them over all the nations of the earth. God is not like the world. He only speaks truth. But just as Abraham had to decide to fully obey God, each believer must also make that decision and surrender to God. God is a jealous God, and He will not share His children with others. They must be His and His alone. God loved Abraham, so He blessed him in a wonderful way. The word said that Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And that's Genesis chapter 13, verse 2. Believers must remember that God wants ministries established that will help and bless His people, and He knows that it takes money to meet the many needs of the people. So, He gives creative thoughts and ideas that believers can use to make money. It is important that when God blesses His children with wealth, they are men and women of honesty and integrity. They must not be men and women who are dishonest, nor can they be wasteful and misuse the wealth of God. Trusting and obeying God must be the focus of all their thoughts, actions, and feelings, so they can operate with divine godly principles. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, but adds no sorrow to it. And that's Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22. Remember, God is no respecter of persons. Just as He loved Abraham, He loves you and others who love Him and His word. He told Joshua that the book of the law would not depart from him, but he must meditate on it day and night. He let him know that this is the key to success. Blessed is the man who follows and delights in His law and meditates on it day and night. For whatever he does will also bring prosperity. And that's Psalms chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. So, beloved saints of God, your blessing, success, and wealth will come when you decide to obey God completely without compromise. During a chaotic time, the children of Israel decreed that the God of heaven will prosper them. When a believer has spent time with God and seen God move and do the impossible, it's easy to decree the positive declaration that God will prosper them. For He is the one who has given them power to get wealth, so His covenant may be established on the earth. King Solomon did not ask for riches, but because God is the giver of wealth, He included it with the other gifts that Solomon requested. God knows what His children have need of, but oftentimes He waits for them to make their requests known unto Him. The questions for today's lesson. Number 1. Why is it important to remember that God gives wealth? Number 2, why is it important to God for His children to receive wealth? Number 3, if God blesses you with wealth, how would you use it? Number 4, what are some bad ways to use wealth? The essential thought: get to know the God of love, wealth, and blessing, and let Him be a part of your life. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.